Welcome back to Your Mic. My name is Freddy Cruz, founder of Speke Podcasting, and I'm going to get really tactical with you today. This episode is for somebody who has not yet launched their podcast, and they have zero idea, no idea whatsoever about how to get from 0 to 1. And it starts with AI. Oh yes, I'm going to go there. AI purists will not approve of this episode, but that's okay. We don't need their opinion anyway. What I want you to do is, and pause after I give you this first step, okay? You are going to, if you not have already, download Perplexity AI to your smartphone, maybe even download it to your desktop. Get the app. Use Comet as your web browser. It's going to make your life so much more easier, especially if you are a creative, if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, if you're in any sort of creative role within your day job. Very intuitive, very user-friendly, but back to launching your podcast and Perplexity AI. What you're going to do is upload every single file that has to do with what your podcast is about. So we're going to use Your Mic, which is my podcast for new and aspiring podcast hosts. So what I did to build my Perplexity AI space, an individual thread dedicated to Speke Podcasting and its educational arm, the podcast called Your Mic, which you're listening to right now. Thank you for doing so. Now, what you're going to do is upload every single file. So what I did was I uploaded every single piece of writing. I've got LinkedIn blog posts that are archived into my Pages program on my Mac. I've got books. So I've taken all my fiction writing, which not really related to the day-to-day operations of Speke Podcasting. However, it is my tone of writing, my quote-unquote writer's voice. So every single thing having to do with your career and what you want your podcast to be is you're going to upload to that Perplexity space the way I did. And then what you're going to do is you are going to give this prompt. Based on the attached files, please create a show description and a 12-episode roadmap for my podcast about whatever your podcast is about. For me, it's about podcasting for new and aspiring podcast hosts. And it's just that easy. Now, we went over this in a previous episode, but it really just bears repeating. You get a few episodes down the line, you're wondering, how exactly am I performing? And so what I want you to do is this. I want you to download your transcripts. I use Cast Magic for Speke Podcasting clients. You can use Riverside.fm or whatever program you like to use. Download those transcripts from your first episodes. You're going to label them accordingly. And then you are going to ask Perplexity AI. And I say Perplexity, they don't pay me to say this. I just really love the program. But you're going to ask your Perplexity chatbot to grade your podcast on a scale of A to F. And you're going to ask it to grade on the following parameters: value provided, time management, brevity, in other words, getting to the point soon enough in your episode and not bloviating about nothing for the first 5 minutes. If it's an interview format, letting the guest shine and not doing too much talking. And then overall performance. You type that in the chatbot, upload your transcripts, and then boom, you get your grade. Now, what I don't like doing is having a grade below B+. And yes, that's right. Your Perplexity chatbot will not be a sycophant. And I think that especially if you ask it to grade on a scale of A to F, it'll be honest with you. And listen, I've been doing interviews and shows since 1995. Very long time. Before podcasting was ever a thing, when I was on the radio. Okay, so I've got decades of this. I've conducted more than 1,000 interviews. So I've got a little bit of experience, if you know what I mean, and I'm sure you do. And even then, I have gotten grades on transcripts of C. So it's not just something that is going to placate your ego. And I think the key is just asking it to grade you on a scale of A to F, as if it were a teacher. And so those are some ways for you to not just start your show with a clear, concise plan, okay? But you can also have it grade your early performance. That way you are getting in and you're failing fast and failing often, and then reiterating and then reiterating and then making better episodes, and then just repeating that process. But it all starts with asking your Perplexity AI chatbot to create that roadmap, and then asking it to grade your early episodes. That way you can stay in the game. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Freddy with a Y at spekepodcasting.com. If you got any value from this episode, please feel free to share with your colleagues, your friends who are thinking about starting a show of their own. Thank you for listening.